El episodio de FilmRiot de hoy es presentado por Haritos.
Today on FilmRiot, we answer some more questions, bust out a new segment that I think you're gonna like, and I suggest a short film that you should watch. Welcome to FilmRiot Mondays. I'm pretty excited about this episode, actually, since we're trying something new that I think is going to be a lot of fun and interactive with you guys. And that's why I like FilmRiot Mondays so much, because unlike Thursdays, which is like the main normal FilmRiot episodes, FilmRiot Mondays is something that we can play around with and try different things. And it's more of like the tamed down, watered down, just hanging out with you guys sort of episode is how I see it. So we're going to try stuff all the time. And today is no exception to that. And it's going to be fun. Let's answer questions and then you'll see what I'm talking about. When it comes to casting actors for a film role, and you have two actors that both fit the part perfectly, how do you decide which one to use? Do you make them fight to the death and cast the one that wins? I've actually never had that problem, ever. Because I work in the realm of independent, low-budget filmmaking, finding just one person who fits the role and is actually a good actor is very freaking difficult. I actually go through a bajillion people in the casting call just to find that one, and when that one person finally shows up that's any good at all, you're like, oh, thank you for coming here today, since you just sat through like 20 people who completely butchered your lines. It's like American Idol, but with acting. I guess if I did come across this mythical circumstance, I would base it on their personality. Actually, every time I do a casting call, the one thing I do up front is to interact with the people on a personal level to see if we'll get along, because if we butt heads the entire shoot, it's going to be very creatively constricting. What do you think so far of the new Blackmagic cinema camera that Blackmagic Designs just announced at NAB? I think it sounds pretty good, and the price tag is even better, but I mean, it remains to be seen. I have to test drive the thing for myself to really have a good opinion of it. There is some test footage online of it, which I wasn't that impressed with, but it didn't really look like they were spending a lot of time to get the best image possible from the thing, so I can't really judge it from that. So I'm very curious to get my hands on it and put it under some harsh lighting and see what kind of images we can pull from it. I mean, at the price tag that it is, it being basically a cinema grade camera, I mean, it sounds freaking awesome. I mean, technology is going in a great route. But as I always say, it's not the camera, it's the person behind the camera. So people put way too much stock in the camera. You know, whether it's Canon C300, C500, the Red Epic, Scarlett, Red One, film, DSLRs, whatever it is, as long as it can get you a professional grade image, it's the person behind the camera and how they use it and what story they're telling that makes the film, not the camera. But with that said, I still am very curious to get my hands on it, which we are going to be getting to test out on the show probably in August. Hopefully. Script writing question. Should I start writing my script after I have the ideas on paper, or should I just start writing the script itself right away without all my story planned? I think it really depends on you and what you're writing. When it comes to FilmRiot, I don't plan a thing. I just ad-lib write is what I like to call it. Every sketch that we do on FilmRiot, I typically don't even know how it's going to end. I just start writing and I see where the script takes me, especially since it's comedy. I think that spontaneity is a lot better for the script. When it comes to short films like Tell, for instance, I don't usually do like a written outline, but I will have an outline in my head. I know who all the characters are, what their arcs are, where it starts, where the middle is, and where the end is, and the purpose behind it. That's the other thing. If you just start writing a short film, there's really not going to be much of a meaning to it if you're just aimlessly wandering through it. You need to know the point you're trying to get across, so you need some sort of a plan, whether it's in your mind or on paper. When it comes to a feature film, not only do I like an outline, but I do a story map where I get a cork board and note cards, and I put a map down of my story of each act and all the big moments in the act to act as a roadmap to writing my script. Otherwise, you're going to get very lost. So will your characters, your metaphors, and the general point behind your story. At least that's my advice. Ryan, are you nervous about releasing Tell? I mean, you've been hyping us up for it for a couple years, and I'm sure the release is making you a bit anxious. Well, since you asked, a little update. We're getting close to actually releasing it. I'm not going to give a set date right now because of how things have been going, but it should be extremely soon. The score is done, sound design and Foley is done, and now we're just going to the mixing. We're waiting on that, and once it's done, it's out into the world. And yes, I am a bit on the nervous side, which I think anybody would be. I don't like that we've been hyping it up for so long because we haven't been working on it. If we've been working on it for that long, it'd be a feature freaking film. But this has been a labor of love that's been on the back burner, just sitting there neglected, asking me to come work on it for the last, what, 2 years? But since we've been doing FilmRiot, other client work, Film State, a new show that we got coming. Oh, what new show? You'll have to see. It's been pushed aside and pushed aside. I got the writing done, then we moved on to production. We got the production done, and then just sat there forever. I finally got the editing done at the slowest pace possible. Then we had to find the audio crew. It's just been a long, long process. So I feel like a lot of people are too hyped up for it, maybe. So that is a little nerve-wracking, but hopefully you guys like it. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with what it says and how it came out as a whole, and everybody involved. So I guess we'll see in the comments if they hate me or not.
Logo.
I'm gonna die out here. Mister! So thirsty. What? Sweet Mexican fruity drink. Such flavorful flavor. "100% natural sugar? Are you kidding me?" You're not from around here, are you?
No.
You can find Haritos in grocery stores, restaurants, food trucks, convenience stores, and if you're lucky, your mama's house. Check out Haritos.com for more crazy videos.
Oh, it's so good.
So here we are, our first go at the Monday challenge, which I'm really excited about. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun and a lot of interaction with you guys. But now you're like, what the freak is Monday challenge? Please explain. Basically, we're gonna challenge you guys each week to make a different sort of video and send it in to us. The best of those sorts of videos are gonna find their way onto the show. So basically, I'm gonna give you a challenge. For instance, it could be to make a 2-minute short film about something specific. It could be to make a 10-second, cinematography video. It could be a 30-second fight video, whatever. You all go out and do it, send us in, and we pick the best of it and show it. This week, the first one that we're going to do is a headshot. We're asking you guys to do the best headshot you can, the most creative, best camera work that you can, and send it in. It's gotta be under 10 seconds, the best of which gets played on here. But the clincher, I think, needs to be after you shoot said person, which not for real, obviously, digitally, or it could be special effects too. You can do it all in camera. Doesn't have to be visual effects. You have to give a one-liner, an action movie one-liner of some kind.
Good idea.
Yeah, like boom, and then cocky one-liner. I think that's very important to my heart. Because how good the headshot is might get you onto the show, but how good the one-liner is might get you into my heart. See what I'm saying? Basically, the idea behind this is since the beginning of FilmRiot, we have been motivated by you guys to constantly be producing something new, doing all these little sketches and short films, and it has really refined and honed our skills over time. So we thought we could do the same for you guys, offer out these Monday challenges so you guys could possibly have the chance to get on the show, have your work shown, and motivate you to start, bettering your craft. So how do you get these videos to us once you've created them, you might ask? Well, you're gonna upload it to YouTube, and when you do, you need to title it, and this is very important, Monday Challenge, and then the title of that challenge, this one being headshot. So Monday Challenge, headshot, and then you're gonna tweet it to Bruno right here, or if you don't have a Twitter, you can Facebook it to Bruno right here. We're gonna go through all of them, pick out the best ones, and then show it on next Monday's episode, and then give you another challenge, and it'll just continue that way. We show the best, give a new challenge, continue. We're gonna go through a bunch of different stuff. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I'm really excited about it. I think this is gonna be a cool segment. The deadline to get the video into us to make sure you have a chance to get onto the show is Friday at noon?
Yeah, Friday noon,
Central Time. Central Time. So there you go. So now, go get to work on the first ever.
Wow!
So that's it for this episode, but before we go, I want to suggest a short film for you guys to check out, which I'm going to try to start suggesting one a week, because I think it's really important if you want to be a filmmaker, if you're trying to make short films, especially to put them on the web and hopefully get noticed. I think it's really important that you're watching them to get inspired, get ideas, and watching good ones, not just crappy ones, which those are abound. But one that I really love, and I've seen several times now, and it's fantastic and deserved all the praise it got. It's directed by the guy who did Hesher, and this got him a lot of attention, and that is I Love Sarah Jane, which you can find right here. It actually stars Mia, and I'm going to totally butcher her last name, Mia Wasikowska? Yeah. Is that it? Mia Wasikowska. She actually played Alice in the new Alice in Wonderland, and it's just an excellently shot, paced and performed short film. It's actually about an apocalyptic world where zombies have taken over. Now you're like, zombies, how typical. It's actually not really that much based on the zombies. There's only one zombie in the whole dang thing. That's just sort of the environment these kids live in. It's really about this 13-year-old boy who's in love with his friend's sister, and that awkwardness that comes along with a crush like that. And it is really freaking fantastic. It's got a little bit of gore in there, a little bit of a horror element, but it's very nostalgic in its feelings of that childhood I love somebody thing. Really well done. Check it out right here. And tell me what you think on my Twitter at twitter.com/Ryan_Conley. That's what we call a segue, my friend. Yeah. You can also check out our Facebook page if you want. And be like, hey, Facebook. That's like a robot Facebook. See you next week.